Hi everyone, welcome to the next video. This hat has served me very well. I think we've been together for probably more than 15 years. But now it's time to let it rest, let it move on to new adventures. Just washing it nowadays makes it fall apart. Well, let's see how this one goes. I'm not a cap guy, but let's see. It feels okay. Alright. And if I look like I just woke up or sleepy, there is a good happy reason for it, and it also is related to that I haven't posted a video for quite some time. And the happy reason for it is that my wife and I just became first time parents to a small baby boy, and he came to us 3 weeks ago. So we are very happy about this, and naturally he has needed our full attention and full services during these times, and he still does, of course. And we are just about to start landing and finding our feet again. And it has been very happy times, but also very intense, joyously intense. And we also have a newfound respect and appreciation to all parents out there who are who have gone through these parenthoods with lack of sleeps and sleep deprivation, and also juggling with full-time jobs. So I have lots of respect for you guys, and it's incredible, the joy and how intense it is, and it's not like you can just pick up what you left and just carry forward. It's more like here you have this bundle of joy, and you just have to carry forward with it, and trying to pace everything together. It's like full gas, no brakes, and we do it happily. But let's come back to the main purpose of this video. And yeah, so I'm trying out new gear for this summer, and I want to go lighter. I want to go more with more adaptive gear, with more functionality. And I have set up a new uh, I'm trying out the new gear basically before I head out into the forest or to some fishing area, or just camping out there. I would like to try out my gear and get to know it, and perhaps even modify it to my needs, and make it more uh, multifunctional and multi-purpose. So let's go through it. So I have two main equipment or gear that I'm trying out this summer, and the first one is this what I believe is called a Basha tarp. or a tent tarp or a military tarp, and I think it came up through the British Army, and I have done some modifications to it to suit my own purposes. And the other one is what you see over there. Let's go look at that. So this is an army poncho, and besides using it for protecting yourself against the weather, wind or rain, or maybe even snow, it's also just a square rectangular tarp. It has these grommets, holes in it, in each corner and also in the middle, and these snap buttons that you can snap them together into your poncho. Plus it has these waistbands, so that you can, when you're using it as a poncho, you attach it to your waist so that it stays on you, and you feel more comfortable, freer that way, so that the poncho doesn't flap around in the wind around you as you go about. So these two together, I'm hoping to create the most diversified and most adaptable gear for myself in the most various circumstances as possible up here in Lapland. And besides using the poncho as rain cover, I'm also planning to use it as a ground sheet to sleep on, and put my sleeping pad on it. My sleeping pad for now is this foldable German mat. It folds down to very small and doesn't weigh anything. It's also very, very thin, and I'm a little bit worried about it. I'm not a young man anymore. I'm in my 40s, so we'll see. And in addition to my gear for this summer, I also have this bug net. And there are lots of mosquitoes and other bugs and small tiny ones that will destroy your night if you're not properly protected against them. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to avoid a closed tent, like a normal standard tent that is zipped all the way through and has a tiny mesh to protect you against mosquitoes. Because but what it also does is to leave the draft out, and it can be very, very hot in those tents, especially if you have set up camp in a area where there is no shadow. So in order to use this has to be lifted a little, and with the Basha tent, I have had to play around, goof around, and see how to modify the Basha tent so that I can also use this under. And I usually also take with me mosquito tablets, 12-hour or 14-hour mosquito tablets, together with a candle, grave candle. I will show that. What I prefer to use against the mosquitoes and bugs is this system here. I use a grave candle lantern that is long lasting. This lasts 3-4 days, and it usually is enough for the duration that I will be out there for. And if I plan to go longer, I carry one more with me. And this is just some tin can that I have found or eaten. I bought this specially. It happened to be some Sriracha chili sauce flavored coated green peas. Very nice. But I bought it especially for the can because it really suits these type of candles. And I have put some airing holes in it, in the bottom and also on top. But I left a bit of space here with no holes. And this is to gather the heat. And on top, I just place one mosquito tablet. This is of the brand Vape. You can find it on eBay. It's a 14-hour tablet, and I've been using this when fishing also in swampy areas full of mosquitoes, especially nighttime. I just put this, light the candle, find a nice secure place within the area that I'm fishing, put it a bit aside and go on with my fishing. And it's really amazing. It's really amazing, and it helps a lot. And if I need to find a different fishing spot, I just move it to where I go. And I found this the best solution for me. It might not be for you. And there is, of course, the risk of the open flame, but I always take precautions to create the safest environment for this thing and stabilize it and nothing around it. There are these Thermacell contraptions with the gas canisters that you can also modify and refill if you like, but they are very expensive, and the tablets don't last long. 4 hours, I think. I think Thermacell has come up with some tablets that might last 8 hours or 12 hours, but their prices have gone up exponentially with that also. So this is the cheapest, best solution that I have created for myself, for my own needs, and it works amazingly. If you have lots of mosquitoes or bugs, just put a second tablet there, and you will be good. And yeah, 14 hours, 3-4 days, and everything just fits in there. You can put your still good tablets inside, and there is a lid that comes, or you just put your own lid or stuff some cloth in there, and you're good to go. Another use of this is that if you're cold, it's raining, and you really need to get your heat up, you can crawl inside your poncho, light this candle, put it under you, and it will heat you up almost instantly. So this is another good reason for it. So I bought this Thermacell mosquito or bug prevention some years ago, and the concept is nice. It works with gas canisters, and you can fit 4 of them there. Each canister maybe lasts, I don't know, a few hours, not much. And when one is empty, it should take from the next one. And usually these canisters are a one-use canister, but there are videos out there of how you can modify them and put butane lighter refill thing in there. So that's what I have done with these two. And so with this, you need to also bring a second canister with gas so that you can refill these. But you have to do this modification yourself. And it has worked to do the refill and thing, but what I don't like with this is that it's also bigger, bulkier, but the most critical reason for why I don't like this is that because I don't trust it. And it is that now and then the flame goes out. I don't trust it that way. Now we use it mainly to put it around the dog fence, and when we are also around, and now and then I go and check the flame, if it's still giving out gas and if it's still lighted and is working. But I don't trust it. It's flimsy. Even though you can have full canisters in here, the flame can still go out for some reason. It has done that since purchasing. So I don't believe it's because it has been clogged up or so. And also I have been moving around the canisters to use the different places, but it always goes out. And if I'm out there in mosquito territory, I want to have a full night that I know this thing will not go out. And unfortunately, the Thermacell does go out. And they do have other models that are more adapted for field use, for camping and so, but you're still dependent on bringing lots of these or modify it yourself, plus that you need one more canister of gas to refill them, and plus that these tablets don't last long unless you buy the 12-hour, and plus it's very, very expensive. Just this device I think was 55 euros, just this one tablet. 3 tablets was 10 euros, and another 10 euros for one canister of non-refillable gas canister. My personal opinion about this is that it's a huge scam. It's a huge scam and a greedy way to sell your products. I think Thermacell would do a lot better if they just allowed these modifications here, that you can refill your own canisters. Unfortunately, they have taken over the Finnish market. You can't buy any other brands of these devices anymore. It's only Thermacell. So, compared to this, I mean, this thing is like not even €1. Well, these chickpeas were a bit more expensive, on the expensive saying 5-8 euros, but at least you get to eat something. And it lasts you 3-4 days with a 14-hour tablet there. Bring 4 tablets and you're good for a week. Bring 2 of these and you're good for a week, and it doesn't weigh anything. You can put the second candle lantern in here also, and all your tablets and everything, and this is all you need to bring with you. So I really like this. Okay, but now let's get back to the Basha Tour. So it's a decent piece of a rectangular ripstop weatherproof cloth, and it has these loops very generously dispersed, and in addition to on the periphery of the Basha, there's also 2 of them that are strategically placed a bit inside the tent and also over there. And so I've been playing around with the different setups, modifications for this, and I have arrived to a setup that I believe suits my purposes. It might not suit yours, and I wanted to create a very adaptable tarp for all kinds of situations. I have put short bungee cords on all of the loops, plus a piece of paracord, and I will go through the different parts of them, but in some strategic places I have added longer paracords. All right, so there are 6 loops on the long sides and 3 loops on the short sides, and that includes the corners, if you count the corners, which I do. And on the long sides I have put shorter paracords, but there is still a bungee. On some strategic places, like the corners, 4 corners, I have put longer paracords, and also here in the middle to raise the roof a little, I've also put longer paracords. And why I have chosen to have longer paracords at the corners and the middle is because I would like to reach sparsely populated trees or bushes, in the sense that if I am in an area and I have located a sleeping place spot that is the flattest and most comfortable place for me to sleep and spend a good night's sleep, I still, and it's located a bit far away from bushes and trees, I still want to be able to reach them with these longer paracords. And so let's try some different setups that I have been playing around with for this modification. So this is a slightly elevated setup. All the sides are elevated, and this creates a very nice airflow, and that's the reason for this one. And the only places you need to attach to raise your tent is these two here, this one here and one at the back end of it. So only 2 spots to raise your basha or your tarp. So this is a very easy way. So there are 2 reasons for me to use the bungee, these shorter ends of bungee, shorter pieces. And one reason is that if you would stumble around or walk around and you step on one of these lines, the bungees absorb the shock, so that and protects your tent, that it doesn't risk to rip here by the sudden shock, because paracords, they don't have that bungee absorption quality to it. So if you would step here, the bungees provide that extra elasticity so that all the shock is not translated here to these areas. So it will protect your tarp or basha so that you can use it longer. You can always replace the lines. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2 for the bungee cords is that you can tie whatever knot you want here, as long as you can retrieve the knot, that is not an impossible knot, and you don't need to learn any fancy camping knots. The bungees will help you give that tension to raise your tent, and also to create that tension. Of course, you can always use these kind of knots that you can do and strength and put tension on your tarp, but honestly it takes time. I know it's nice and stimulating to know all these knots, like so, but with a bungee you don't need that. The bungee provides the tension instantly and automatically. This is one knot that I really like, but it doesn't give you that tension. I learned this knot from Ray Mears, not personally, through one of his videos, and it's just like this. You place your hand, come over with the tail end of your paracord, do one 360 around, one loop around your hand, bring your hand over, and then grab the tail end and just tight there. But this knot doesn't provide tension in itself. What is nice with this bungee is that the bungee gives you that tension, which is nice, and it's an easy way to, it's easy to retrieve the knot also. So once again, just like so, just bring your hand under, one loop over your fingers, bring it to the other side over, and retrieve the tail end, tie it and stretch it towards the tree or small log like so, and that's it. The bungee gives you tension. Okay. All right. So this is the classic lean-to shelter, and I have used the tent pegs to pan the side, one side completely down, and just elevate one side up. This is also a very nice way to spend the night. So what's nice with these shorter loops is that you can create extra tension up here using these loops, these bungees. So that the top doesn't flap around so much, but that also it keeps a nice tense top. So our little bushcrafter, he tapped out, so we're gonna have to do the rest alone. Okay, so obviously you can shape this tarp in any shape that you desire and to suit the circumstances that you would be in, and it's just your imagination. And together with the combination of bungees and paracord gives you even more adaptability to it in the form that you can shape, close and open. And one thing I would like to do also is that I want to be able to shape it already when I'm inside using it as a shelter, so that I just reach out and move some pegs here and there, close it, or use it as a tunnel tent, then close one side. I want to be able to do all of that from inside the tent if there is too much rain outside going on. But let's summarize this video. Here is the mosquito net, and if I bring this, then I might not bring my mosquito repellent system here, but this one in combination with fishing is really unbeatable. For a good night's sleep, this is good, but I have also gone without the mosquito netting and just used this for a whole night of sleep, and I will very likely just bring this with me. We have the poncho that can also be used as an additional tarp in combination with the Basha. But my intention is to use it as rain cover when fishing or just walking, and also use it as a ground sheet to sleep on if the area is too moist. And as a sleeping pad, instead of an inflatable one, which I discarded, I now have a thinner but more adaptable uh, ground pad. And the reason why I prefer these is also that I can sit by a fire and not be afraid of sparks that might land on an inflatable sleeping pad. So water bottle, stainless, so that I can also put it on the fire if I need to. Coffee pot that I can also cook noodles and soups and fish and whatnot. And if the fish, which is also very likely, it might be bigger than the size of this pot, but I can cut it up or cook the fish directly on the fire using birch leaves. Wrap them inside birch leaves and steam it, which I highly recommend. It's very nice. Instead of spending time collecting and making pegs, I'm bringing my tent pegs already, and this will save me more time and or be faster in case I need to set up my tarp or my poncho in a hurry because of weather. And then depending on where I go, I either bring my larger axe or my small hatchet, but never the two. Never the two together. I have some extra bungee here, which is nice. For filming is this small selfie stick that I've added a pointed stick to it so that I can put it on the ground and use it as a tripod or monopod. Fishing tackles and fishing rod, small but sturdy fishing rod. The main food bringer, which is my fishing rod. And I have through the years selected smaller and smaller rods, but also tougher and tougher ones. And I have to say it has become more and more difficult to find a small but tough rod. This one can take bait weights of 10 to 30 grams, which is within the range that I like to use for catching small and bigger fish. And I have landed quite some big pikes with this small thing here. And why I prefer smaller rods is so that I can squeeze myself into tight vegetation, bushes, and still be able to throw it out, make some casts in tight vegetation, and also land fish in tight vegetation. With my experience with long fishing rods is that they are not as easy to manipulate and to cast. You need more open space behind you, around you, but with a small one you only need to flick it out there, and with a good technique you will still be able to reach the areas that you suspect the fishes are. And honestly, if there is fish in the water, you don't always need to throw the furthest possible that you can. So a small fishing rod is fantastic. You can use it from a boat, you can use it from shore, you can use it, it's just very versatile. And I would say that it's more versatile than a larger fishing rod. So I'm very happy with this one. Sleeping bag, small, light summer sleeping bag. And then this Sea2 Summit waterproof bag. I might bring one more. If I go fish, it's nice to carry the fish in something additionally besides your main bag. And I'm also thinking to bring a smaller bag to carry water to my can, which is I don't have here. But so far I've only used this one to carry water to can. And but I will bring one more waterproof bag. And I don't know if you could see. And here is my frame. And this is what I intend to bring with me this summer wherever I go, with the addition of still choosing which one of these to bring. So let's pack everything and see what it looks like on the frame. Okay, now everything is packed. My water bottle for easy access, the poncho on top also for easy quick access in case I need, my selfie stick for also easy access for filming, the ground pad, sleeping pad, and in this bigger bag is the Basha tarp, my coffee pot, some fire making stuff, and the my mosquito repellent system. Here is the small axe, and then depending on where I go I might switch it with this one, and then it's the same concept, just strap it under everything, some additional bungee cord if I would need, my fishing gear, fishing rod, and also inside the bag is also the tackle, and everything is very light. So I'm very excited about this summer. Very excited. One thing I would additionally bring is another water container or a fish carrier, a waterproof bag. Other than that, I feel very confident about this. Let's put it on and see. I can't believe I have everything. Of course, some food also. Alright guys, I think this should wrap up this video. I want to thank you so much for watching it, and also stay tuned for the next one. And hopefully the next one will be actually going out. I have a knife coming up that I'm working on, and I'm just about in the finishing ends of it. So that one is also coming up, that video. Alright guys, thank you so much, and to my Patreons, thank you again very much, and I see you on the next one. Alright, have a good one.